She's white. And because of that, when you consider some of the hard times other people gave her, they were resentful of the fact that this white girl came on the scene where there was a bunch of sisters that preceded her spanning decades that were big time that deserved a lot of credit.
What if I told you that the most influential player in women's basketball might not even realize she's caught in the middle of a silent power struggle? A hidden battle involving billionaires, coaches, and one rising rookie star, Caitlin Clark. The real reason behind Indiana's turmoil could be much darker than anyone imagines. Sources online, from insiders to podcast hosts, claim that a secret meeting took place inside the headquarters of Pacers Sports and Entertainment, the organization that owns both the Indiana Pacers and the Fever. Behind closed doors sat billionaire owner Steve Simon, head coach Stephanie White, and top Fever executives. No journalists, no cameras, no leaks until now. And according to those close to the situation, what was discussed in that room may finally reveal the truth behind all the strange events unfolding in Indiana.
You know, like I said, we are in the biggest moment in WNBA history. There's no denying that. Everybody knows that, and everybody that's in a place in power has a true responsibility, and even myself, we have a responsibility to make sure that this game is in a great place going forward with the CBA. And
the constant lineup shuffles, the sudden drop in Caitlin Clark's shot attempts, and that strange shift in team chemistry everyone's been talking about. Something clearly isn't right. And now, we might finally have the missing piece of the puzzle. Before we go any further, make sure you stick around until the end, because what's coming next could completely change the way you look at the WNBA. And hey, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe. Your support genuinely means everything. Now, let's dig a little deeper. Most people see the Indiana Fever as just another WNBA team, but they're far from ordinary. The Fever are part of a powerful sports empire owned by one of America's wealthiest families, the Simons. They don't just control the Pacers, they also run the massive Simon Property Group, a multi-billion-dollar shopping mall empire. At the top of this powerful hierarchy is Herb Simon, a 90-year-old icon in Indiana's business world. But when it comes to who actually pulls the strings day to day, that power belongs to his son, Steve Simon, the true mastermind behind Indiana basketball. He's low-key, private, and has no need for social media fame. When you oversee a billion-dollar empire, your word alone carries weight. So, when Steve Simon reportedly noticed Fever ticket sales slipping and Caitlin Clark's viral buzz starting to fade, he decided it was time to intervene. That's when the rumor mill went into overdrive. According to insiders, during that private meeting, Steve Simon delivered one line that left the entire room speechless. From this point forward, it's CCT, Caitlin Clark's team. Let that sink in. Not a catchy slogan, not a marketing phrase. A direct corporate command from the man who controls Indiana's sports world. The message couldn't have been clearer. From here on out, everything revolves around Caitlin. The offense, the marketing, the entire brand, everything was to revolve around her. Because when your rookie is pulling in millions through merch sales, ticket revenue, and nationwide attention, you're not just coaching an athlete anymore. You're protecting an investment. And that's where the tension began. Head coach Stephanie White had her own vision, a disciplined, team-first system built on structure and ball movement. She wasn't chasing highlight plays or half-court threes. And for a while, her approach paid off. The Fever started winning again and even made their first playoff appearance in years. But behind the success, something else was quietly slipping: TV ratings, ticket sales, and overall buzz. Fans weren't coming to watch system basketball. They came to see Caitlin Clark, the phenom, the long-range sniper, the walking highlight reel. So when Steve Simon allegedly told White and the front office to rebuild the entire team around Caitlin, things got heated. Sources claim White lost her composure, refusing to turn her squad into what she called a one-player show. That's when Simon reportedly delivered the chilling words that silenced the entire room. "You don't have to like it, but that's how it is." And with that one line, the entire power structure of the Indiana Fever changed forever. Not long after that meeting, things started to feel off. Stephanie White began publicly praising Kelsey Mitchell as the focal point of the Fever's offense. But behind closed doors, insiders whispered about rising tension, coach versus ownership, system versus superstar. And caught in the middle of it all was Caitlin Clark, just trying to play basketball while billionaires and coaches quietly battled over who controlled her future. From the outside, everything looked normal. But if you paid close attention, the cracks were there. Team chemistry seemed off. Press conferences felt tense. And those viral Caitlin Clark highlights that once dominated social media, they started to disappear. Something had clearly shifted, and fans could feel it. Let's be real. Billionaires don't care about offensive spacing or ball movement. They care about profit margins. When Caitlin Clark was lighting up the scoreboard with 30-point games, Fever tickets were selling out, merch was flying off the shelves, and TV networks were fighting for broadcast rights. But when her role diminished, the business started to slow, and that's when the phone calls began. In the world of billion-dollar sports empires, one rule always stands above the rest: protect the asset that makes money. And Caitlin Clark is that asset.
I mean, people looked at the Cheryl Swoops of the world, the Maya Moores of the world, and others, and they said, yo, there was a bunch of people that came before her that did big things for the WNBA. I respect it. It is right. I appreciate it. But whiteness does have its privileges.
Since that rumored meeting, fans have started picking up on subtle, yet undeniable, changes. The Fever's entire marketing strategy now revolves around Caitlin Clark. Sponsorship deals are being signed in her name, and the team's social media presence feels more like a rebrand than a traditional basketball campaign. The Fever aren't just a basketball team anymore. They've become the launch pad for Caitlin Clark Incorporated. Love it or hate it, that's the new reality of modern sports. This isn't just about wins and losses anymore. It's about market share, media presence, and money. Because in 2025, the WNBA isn't just competing on the court. It's fighting for headlines, sponsorships, and billion-dollar visibility. And Caitlin Clark isn't simply an athlete. She's a brand powerhouse redefining what it means to be a franchise player. League executives are paying attention. Rival teams see what's happening too. They know that if this experiment in Indiana actually works, it could mark the end of the old era. The days of coach-driven teams would be gone for good. The future would belong to the stars, the ones who can move markets, drive headlines, and shape entire franchises, not just score points. So now, everyone's asking the same question: what happens next? Will Stephanie White stay and reshape her system around Caitlin Clark's unique strengths? Or will the billionaire upstairs decide it's time for a coaching change? Because one thing in Indiana is crystal clear: the balance of power has shifted. The billionaires are watching. The fans are waiting. And Caitlin Clark, she's holding not just the future of the Fever, but possibly the future of the entire WNBA in her hands.
Building this league to make sure it's in a great spot for many years to come, because you all know I grew up as a huge fan of this league, and I'm going to do everything I can to make this the league that, you know, a 5-year-old, a 10-year-old, a 15.
If you listen closely to the post-game interviews, you can sense the tension hidden beneath every carefully chosen word. Caitlin keeps things diplomatic. Coach White remains professional. But the unspoken energy between them? It's heavy, the kind of silence that comes right before a storm. And maybe that storm has already started. Some reports say a new assistant coach has quietly joined the staff to ease the friction. Others claim certain veterans are being traded, not for fit, but for compliance. Every move the Fever make feels intentional, strategic. The question isn't if the takeover is happening, it's when it becomes official. No one's confirming the rumors, but no one's denying them either. And sometimes, silence speaks louder than any press conference ever could. Because if even half of this is true, then Caitlin Clark didn't just enter the WNBA, she took it over. She's no longer just the rookie phenom lighting up highlight reels. She's the focal point of a billion-dollar power shift in women's basketball. And every executive in the league is watching closely, because whatever happens in Indiana could redefine the entire sport. We've seen this story before. Michael Jordan changed the business of basketball. Serena Williams redefined tennis. And now, Caitlin Clark might be doing the same for women's hoops. The Fever's rise isn't just about wins and losses anymore. It's about influence, control, and ownership of the narrative. Caitlin Clark isn't just breaking records, she's reshaping the politics of the game itself. If the reports are accurate, every major decision in Indiana now runs through her, directly or indirectly. Her interviews, her sponsorship deals, even the design of next season's jerseys, everything now centers around Caitlin Clark. And when one player grows bigger than the franchise itself, that's when the entire game changes. The Indiana Fever once belonged to the owners, the coaches, and the system. But now, it all revolves around one person wearing number 22. If the whispers are true, next season won't just be about basketball, it'll be a story of power, a billionaire empire, a headstrong coach, and a generational talent who's quietly become the most powerful woman in the sport. This isn't just the Indiana Fever anymore. This is Caitlin Clark's team, and the world is about to find out exactly what that means.